So how do we start fresh again, especially when everything seems to be uncertain, overwhelming, and even scary? But most importantly, how do we know what we really want? Good morning, sunshine. Actually, it's nighttime here. Welcome back to my video 9 of 30-day challenge. It's been a long road to get here. Initially, it was only supposed to take 30 days to create these videos, but I'm still here and that's good enough. So it's already spring here, as you can see, in Canada, and it's such a great time to start fresh, like these tulips, fresh from the ground after a few months of hibernation. By the way, please subscribe and like this video if you feel you have gained some kind of value so far. Or if you just want to be nice to me, that's cool too. By the way, I also provided a link below for you to access all my freebies. So let's get started. In today's video, we will discuss how to start fresh and recreate yourself by first letting go. And I shared my story about co-owning my dream business, which was an indoor playground transformed into something more. But this was very short-lived because although it seemed like it was my dream business or passions, deep in my heart, I knew I needed to leave and come back home. So I shared all that in my first 3 intro videos. Go back to it if you feel like it. Lately, I've been going back to the playground to take my granddaughter to her ballet class every week. I would come across a few people I know and they would ask where I've been. I would try to explain to a few of them why I left and why I left the place and why I quit, and they would feel sad or bad for me because they can't understand why I would leave something so good. And I agree, why leave something that's going good and something I fought to help survive during the hardest hit like the pandemic? Well, at first I actually felt like I needed to be understood and give people an explanation. But eventually I just kind of gave up explaining, and that's okay. It's okay to let it go. So yes, I'm telling you guys that it's okay to not have to explain yourself. It's okay to not share your ideas. Don't tell them anything. It's all about your future, your happiness, and no one needs to understand but you. So when I started going back to the beautifully transformed playground, sometimes I felt a tinge of regret, but I had to remind myself that I left for a very good reason, and I told myself, self, let it go, don't look back. So sometimes you have to leave something good for something better, and then leave that something better for something best. And this is exactly why I'm using this Better Life journal to document my journey while sharing it on YouTube. And it also helps to see role models leading the way. So here's just a few current examples of successful people leaving the good for the better. So just recently, I was shocked to see one of my favorite YouTuber and marketing expert, her name's Vanessa Lau, you can look her up. She was taking an indefinite sabbatical leave, and her followers all received a memo either through her social media handles or by email. I got mine through email. And I read the email and it didn't give such a huge explanation. She just said it's for personal reasons and then slightly hinted that it's a good business practice. So she's probably shifting or recalibrating her business, and that's a good thing. And I also used to follow Alex Hormozi in the past, and he wasn't as successful then the way he is now. He sold his company to start another one, and the shift just catapulted his business. Another one is Sam Ovens, who I admire, the owner of consulting.com. He's another example of who just recently sold his company to focus on his new baby in the digital space called school.com. And these are just to name a few that took a leap, and it has been a game changer for their new ventures. So let's just say, if you want to start fresh, there are times when you just need to learn to let go of the good for something better. Or perhaps you don't even need to let go of the good, but you need to find ways to get better. In fact, change can be a fun and empowering process. So here's how to get started. So in your journal, write your answers to these questions below. Number 1, what do you really want to be? Now, normally in the coaching industry, the questions would be to take some time to think about what you really want. What are your dreams and goals? What kind of life do you want to create for yourself? So these are all valid questions, but trust me, it's not always easy to figure out at first. And after you get the thing that you want, you feel elated for the moment until the thing you want changes again. So to remedy the situation, our approach needs to be a bit more more carefully weighed. It comes down to two types of goals. So the first goal is called the extrinsic goal. These are the goals relating to influences such as money, fame, status, or anything that needs the validation of others. Number two, which are the intrinsic goals, or does it relate to yourself, your personal growth, your health and relationship with yourself and others. But lately, I was introduced to an interesting idea of being open to experiences, because you may think that you have a clear idea of what you want only because you think it's what you want, similarly to extrinsic goals being influenced by others. So I was listening to a new podcast by Tony Robbins, and he had on a guest named Michael Singer, the author of Surrender Experiment. The topic is called Let Go, Surrender to Happiness with Michael Singer. So I was intrigued in his approach to finding happiness and letting go of our wants. He said that we are just programmed by the experiences we've had, and sometimes our wants aren't really ours to begin with, and that we must keep ourselves open to possibilities. And I'm paraphrasing, but he is simply saying that we limit ourselves when we stick to our own preferences instead of opening ourselves to new preferences or experiences. So the more we openly accept that maybe our wants isn't what we really want, and that the universe has better things for us, then that is where our true happiness lies. I actually truly agree 100% with what he preaches, because I love the saying, let go and let God. I've always been a huge advocate of serendipitous living. This is probably why I'm a Jane of all trades, but I also know that I have a purpose-driven mission to accomplish. And at this point in my life, I'm just letting God be the designer of it, and I'm just trying to figure out how to stay in line with what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's like picking up a piece of puzzle along the way, and it's super fun and frustrating at the same time, but I've learned to be patient. So should you. Now it's your turn to write down what you want, but be open for life adjustments or enhancements. So here's the second thing you want to write in your journal. Acknowledge your current beliefs and let it go. So there's this great quote that I ran into just now. What got you here won't get you there, by Marshall Goldsmith. It is actually a title of her book. Now, I haven't read the book to make my conclusions just yet, but the quote seems pretty self-explanatory, I think. I'm assuming that it means we can't make it further without changing or improving our mindset or belief systems first. For some of us, it probably just means a little mindset adjustment, or perhaps it's just timing. If we are trying to be in line with what God or the universe wants for us, we must trust in His timing. Once again, this is where patience plays a major role. So letting go isn't that simple, because our beliefs are so deeply ingrained that we're not even aware of them. So to start becoming more aware of your own beliefs, pay attention to your self-talk. It means acknowledging the ones you currently have and what isn't working for you. What words or phrases do you use when you're talking to yourself? Do you tend to tell yourself that you're not good enough, you're not capable? Write them all down and see how many negative ways we conduct our lives. Now, these are what we call limiting beliefs, or negative thoughts that rob us of our potential. Now, negative thinking are like weeds. They grow wild if we don't tend to it and remove it. Now, here's the thing. This applies to the negative people we surround ourselves with. So let them go also. Last but not least, number 3, reframe your beliefs into empowering ones. For example, if you currently believe that you're not good enough, you can reframe this into believing that you have the potential to be great. If you believe that you're not smart enough, tell yourself that you're willing to learn and grow. Write positive affirmations on your journal every day. Rewrite them over and over again. So to recap, we must first let go by surrendering our wants and be open to new possibilities. Then let go of our limiting beliefs and reframe our way of thinking and practice positive affirmations. So do you have any tips on changing limiting beliefs that has helped you in your journey? Share them in the comments below. Till then, à la prochaine mes amis. See you tomorrow.